This is Papa Smurf. You're listening to Our Lifestyle, the podcast, with ODB and the mayor.
Yo, it's ODB, Our Lifestyle podcast, and we want to remind you that Bayou Showdown is going down later this year in Slidell, Louisiana at the Harbor Center. That's 100 Harbor Center Boulevard, again in Slidell, Louisiana. Bayou Showdown is November 20th and 21st. It's the weekend before Thanksgiving, so get on out and support the scene, including Custom Car Show Productions in conjunction with Mr. Sean Randall. Bayou Showdown, November 20th and 21st, Slidell, Louisiana. Check that hashtag, Bayou Showdown, or Facebook, Bayou Showdown, for more information. Yo, it's Our Lifestyle Podcast, episode 252, going, back to Cali. It'll make more sense. Now, I got to tell you, unfortunately, we haven't heard from Biggity Mike, the mayor. He's out gallivanting around, so luckily, I got Ron last week to have Hank come on this week, and Hank is going to guest co-host, so I'm super excited to announce Hank. Hank, how you doing, brother?
Well,
Hank?
I'm doing all right, I guess.
Wait, I changed the conference number. Is that Hank, or who is this?
It's Hank, just checking in from the local bar.
USOB. Did you get my number again? This can't be Mike, dude.
This is Hank. I'm just down here at the local bar, getting a little twisted right now as we... wait, not twisted. Shit, what's the name of that brand again? Oh, Hammered. That's it. I'm getting hammered.
Hammered weekend wear. Yeah, man. Mike, seriously, I did change the conference. Who gave you this number, man?
I cannot tell my source. But whoever my source is, thank you for giving me that new conference code to get back in. And hey, Jay, it's so good to be back on here with you.
Dude, man, there's rumors swirling. I don't want to get into all of them. That there's the honky tonk man, right? I know Barbaglia knows. He can rattle off the wrestlers' names, but everybody said you're getting closer to dropping the gallivanting man. You've got like the cowboy hat on with the straw coming out, kind of like the Marlboro man. But are you still putting the finishing touches on the Gallivanting Man album that supposedly you're dropping?
Well, hey, don't forget about, you already talked about the cowboy hat. You talked about the straw coming out my mouth. Don't forget about the assless chaps. Don't forget about those.
Dude, well, I thought you were going to say like some skull, like in the back pocket. But, I mean, come on, man. This is a family kind of podcast. I don't want you to go and talking about the stuff you do on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? But
that's every day, homie, every day.
That it is. And listen, if you're new to the podcast, make sure you subscribe or follow. Want to also say the weekend before Thanksgiving's the easiest way to remember it. It's going down in Slidell, Louisiana, part of the Custom Car Show Productions events. Mike's been there before. Biggity Bayou Showdown. It's the 19th, 20th, and 21st of November. I know you guys are going to have a great time. There's lowriders, lifted, minis, you name it. It's all there. And, Mike, you can definitely cut a promo for Biggity Bayou Showdown because Bayou Showdown's the shit.
Dude, it's absolutely a blast. Had a record year last year. I go there and help, Greg. Here I'm saying Greg. I'm going there and, I go there and I help the Millers and, of course, Sean. So, man, sorry about that.
Yeah, rest in peace, Greg, but, man.
Yes. But yeah, once again, I'll be there and helping out again, and look forward to going there and can't wait.
Yeah, for sure. And I mentioned this last week. If you leapfrog past Bayou Showdown, which is an amazing event, and you fast forward to March, like smack dab middle of March. That's spring break for us in the South, the dirty South, and If you want to go to somewhere that's not dirty and it's in the South and it's in spring break, you want to get ready for Orange Beach Invasion. The light is an event that'll change your life. It's such an awesome venue. We hope that our friend CB, also CB Cooper, right, Craig Braid from the Pacific Northwest, maybe he'll come down. But we've had people from all over come down and just really enjoy that atmosphere. So again, the next two events for Custom Car Show Productions and Family is going to be Bayou Showdown, November. Fast forward, of course, next year, March, Orange Beach Invasion.
Well, hey, Orange Beach Invasion, Jay, don't forget, those spots are going up for sale. So if you had yours last year, make sure you get with Lauren Miller and reserve your spot. Again, pay for it for if you want that same spot or if you want another spot there on the VIP row. It is going up. I believe it's this Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure you get with Lauren Miller here real soon and get that thing paid for.
Yeah, and Mike has one of those truck. Well, I don't even want to bring it up. You have one of those weird trucks that's like kind of weird, but I told you don't bring that because I already talked to Robbie, and Robbie said if you come anywhere around there, he's not coming off the top ropes. He's coming off. Remember that little walkway, that catwalk deal? He said he'll come down and throat kick you. You know what I'm saying? So
well, I'm pretty sure Sean Randall made a shirt that said "No yee shit."
And listen, we're all kidding aside. The bottom line is they're trying to keep this event very streamlined next year, and we all know at different events there's always a group. I mean, it could be folks dragging, it could be this and that, but obviously the city has put some restrictions in. So this event I think next year is going to be a little bit even more streamlined than it's been, and I think that's going to be a good thing. We'll see some more hot rods, we'll see some more minis, full sizes. It's going to be a great time, so looking forward to it. Now, Mike, on this episode, we've got talking about going back to Cali. It's been a minute since I've been out west that far, and I had the opportunity, C10 Interventions this weekend. It's Labor Day weekend. Street Trucks invited me out, so I'm super excited about that. But Soloman Lunger is a name that many of you will know from the publications of Engaged Media, talking about Street Trucks, F100 Builder's Guide, and so much more. He comes on. He's got a huge cult following in the stuff that he does. Don't want to give too much away. And then, Mike, we are going to try to link up with Big Juice. Trucks and Cheeseburgers is coming up, and I don't think that we've talked about it enough. If you have the OLP official digital show calendar on your phone, you will see that we're basically adding that event in, or actually we've already added that event, and it's the 19th. It is a Sunday, so that obviously is something that makes it a little tough for some of us to get down to West Palm Beach. But Mike, the 19th is give or take 2 weeks and a day or so away from this audio airing. So we're excited about that. We'll try to get Big Juice on to talk about that.
Hell yeah, brother. That's always a good time meeting up down there, down south.
Down south hustling.
Yes. Yeah, down south hustling. But always a good time. And I mean, you can't go wrong with some free Bubba burgers. You know what I'm saying?
Real deal. The overview of this episode brought to you by our family at Graphics Mafia. If you're looking for stickers, don't go anywhere else. Go to Graphics Mafia. That's graphics with an X, mafia.com. They're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, I think they're even doing some YouTube stuff. But Graphics Mafia will take care of you if you need a wrap, you need a little design work, you want to put your name, your Instagram name on your project banana hammock like Mike or something like that. Or maybe you're doing a show, Mike. You're doing a show, and I know that they're willing to step up and kind of knock it out the park, whatever you need, right?
Always, brother, and definitely have never let us down. Podcasts, shows, you name it, always coming through. And actually, with that being said, our boy Ron and Hank over at Hammered Weekend Wear just dropped 2 new shirts, and straight fire, brother. Yeah,
straight fire. HAMMERD weekendwear.com. He obviously stretching this one out from Wednesday to Wednesday, so that's going to be pretty cool. 2 heaters, as Mike said. Looking forward to it. And one of our good buddies, man, tip of the cap to him. Really love his truck. We got a chance to see it at Scraping the Coast, and I can't wait to rock that one on a shirt. Now, it's not the first time it's appeared on a shirt. The first time it did, our beloved friend Greg Miller, they put it on a shirt at Orange Beach Invasion, and it looked amazing. Obviously, now it's on its third shirt, and there's rumors that it could be on a fourth shirt. I mean, just say hashtag just saying. We'll just have to see. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to TD. Now, as we move ahead to the scene updates, Mike, I know it's been a minute. We haven't had a chance to really link up, but this one is obviously one of those things where you're going to see, a lot of comments, a lot of people have their opinions on stuff. Hey, I'm not going to go now because of this. Listen, man, I don't get involved in all that. It is what it is. But SEMA, they did send out an update. I know Ronnie over at C10 Talk, he had posted this. I know Street Trucks posted on their social media. And if you just Google SEMA mask mandate, SEMA confirms health and safety plans for 2021 event. This is their newsletter, which you can kind of, I think, become a part of. I forget how I got on that list. But it's, kind of talks about the SEMA show organizers are 100% committed to hosting a successful event. And it kind of goes on to say SEMA is monitoring the evolving COVID-19 landscape and expects to have details in the coming weeks about requirements will be in place for SEMA show. And you kind of go through all this, and I don't know that it's 100% confirmed that masks are going to be required, but you got to remember there's a lot of stuff. There's jurisdictions, there's cities, there's all this stuff in play. Last thing they want is a super spreader event. Nobody wants that. But regardless of how you feel, it's this was dated the 26th of August. And Mike, I think hey, if somebody goes, hey, you can't have it unless you do 1, 2, and 3. Well, best be sure. I'm sure they're going to do 1, 2, and 3 then.
Yeah. It's real simple. Put your mask on, wash your hands, and stay 6 feet apart.
Exactly, like a dolphin. Remember when they had that at Scraping the Coast? They had the little things that say "Stay a dolphin length apart." Have you ever seen when somebody, they say, "Hey, stay 6 or 7 tail car lengths apart"? How did you? I could never figure that out in my head. I'm like, well, am I 5.5 or 6? Am I 7 or am I? And you like to tailgate. Every time I ride with you, I'm like, dude, Mike, you're right, dude. You're one of those guys, man. You're right on their ass. And I don't know what your deal is with that, but I got to often kind of say, dude, just fall back a little bit because you're not 6 or 7 car lengths. You're 0 car lengths, Well,
how would you know? 1, you're either on your phone, or 2, you're asleep. And chances are most of the time you're asleep. So I don't know how you would know that. What you get all jumpy about is when I hit those damn hey, Mike, are you asleep? Mike, are you awake? Mike.
Listen, there's one thing.
Yeah.
There's one thing you can do better than me is the gas brake dip. And if Ryan from Graphics Mafia does not ride with us in a lawn chair to Lone Star Throwdown this year, last weekend in February, Conroe, Texas, dude, then we're going to have issues because we need to get him a throne back there, man.
Hey, I told him a fucking beanbag, and he shows up with nothing. But that's all right because that fucker ended up sleeping on the damn floor anyway. But hey, that was much better than the fucking couch that you wanted to bring.
The couch is going this year. I'm bringing the couch. Ron's bringing it. He's got it back up in Oregon. It's coming back down, but so that's kind of the main scene update. I thought we were going to hit on, but the digital updates, Mike, I got to throw it over and say the guys like Custom Life. Frank, he was at the Awakening. He did a new video recently, and even Grinder TV. I mentioned recently he had the Mike Finnegan tie-in. The views on that are almost at 100K. So Brian's doing the damn thing.
Always, man. Always putting out awesome videos and always getting those views, man. People are looking forward to it, and I don't know what's harder, getting likes and follows on Instagram or building your YouTube channel. And I tell you what, our girl Georgia has definitely figured out the recipe to build a damn Instagram and get those followers because she's cracked over 100,000, bro. So, but unfortunately, me or you look anything like Georgia. So I seriously doubt we're going to come anywhere near 100,000, bro. Just saying.
Yeah, she said we can borrow a few because she's at 155K now. I think that her success, obviously she's a great looking female. There's no doubt about that, right? Just stating the facts. But the content that she puts out, arguably, I mean, you talk about a content creator, everything from lowriders to legs to hydros to bicycles to awesomeness. GEORJAH. I mean, dude.
She is building mini truck too, so we can't forget about that.
I mean, he's on the rise, and we do got to thank her. She came on the podcast, which was awesome. I know she was on Jamie's as well, but it's great. We built a lot of relationships with folks out there, and the commitment that she has to release new content is really unsurpassed. Her and her man, they do cool stuff, and I love seeing content like that. Right? I mean, the rolling shots. She'll put the phone down and fuel up the car, and just do some cool stuff. So I commend someone that is on their hustle as much as she is. You know what I mean? Tip of the cap. Now, Mike, you were saying for some reason you really like the one where she was kneeling down and she's filling the fuel in the car. I didn't know, you kept trying to tell me that was a Lincoln tattoo, and I was like, no, Mike, that's not a Lincoln tattoo. That's a Cutlass, right? You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
But there was something you kept talking about. That was a good angle of the photo, and I totally agree. So.
Yeah. No, I actually like the one where she is got the picture with the OBS and that yellow OBS and made posters. That was fire right there.
Fire emoji.
Yes.
Well, good stuff. So go out there again for everything from YouTube. Man, if you haven't, went out on YouTube recently and you kind of just search mini trucks, there's a lot of up and coming channels. I love Mini Truck Matt, what he does. There's so much out there, and you can go to shows and not see everything, like at Mini Truckin' Nationals. And then I go on YouTube or I go on Instagram, IGTV, and I'm like, damn, I forgot I didn't even make it to that corner because we were, doing our thing or walking around or talking to people. So I love YouTube. It kind of keeps me, up on so much stuff as this landscape changes from all the different medias. You used to just be print. Now it's audio through podcasts. It's video stuff. It's it's still print with All Time Low magazine. And Mike, I want to just thank All Time Low magazine for the continued support. We tell you time and time again, if you go to atlmagazine.com, you can buy individual issues. But Mike, what happens to those individual issues?
They sell out. So
they sell out. Okay.
Yes, they sell out. So what you want to do is get your subscription, and when you get your subscription, you don't have to worry about it. It always comes, and you don't have to worry about trying to get to the website and ordering it because chances are it's going to be gone. So get your subscription, and you're good to go.
Yeah, and spread the word. Like last week when we had Joey on from Majestics, thanks again for coming on. Towards the end, if you guys listened, you heard that, I had mentioned All Time Low magazine to him. That's how the word spreads. And he's like, yo, I'm on the lowrider side. Hadn't really heard of that. Cool. Thanks for letting me know. Sent him the link through Instagram. You can share a profile. You can share an image. And then he can go over and tap the profile and see what they're all about. $20 per issue, but it's super thick. They've recently reinvested into higher quality bindings and paper, if you will. And you can get the individual issues or a subscription, but it's atlmagazine.com. Follow them on social media, Facebook and Instagram. Really for mini truckers, by mini truckers, but they've expanded out and they have so much more. A great team behind them.
Oh, wait a minute. You said thick. I thought we were talking about Georgia again. Or you're talking about the...
No, I said Vic. You thought I said Vic?
Oh, I thought you said... My bad.
Yeah. Yeah, because you like that Robin Thicke guy. You like that one song, that one song he got sued about. That's one of your favorites, right? That real catchy song?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, Robin Thicke, right? That's your boy.
Hey, I'm sorry. I got Georgia on my mind.
Blurred Lines, man. I mean, isn't that your boy? You guys roll in the same circles, man. You wear those sunglasses like him and stuff.
Yep. Have no clue who the hell you're talking about.
See,
right.
Mike is not connected to the streets, man. You know what I mean? You're like connected to... I mean, I know, like, Mike, we got to get your outfit straight. Like, in the next show, you got to have the white dad shoes. We got to
Oh,
get you
dude.
We got to get you a new, case for your phone. Nothing against guys that got their, the phone right there on their hip, but I know you got that Pro Max, and then you want to have it right there, like kind of like a gun, right in the
That
holster,
clip.
right?
Yep, the clip.
The clip, yeah. So that's kind of your MO. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that is my deal. That is my deal.
The scene updates brought to you by Garage Gear Clothing. Mike, GarageGearClothing.com, I recently saw they had a promotion on shipping, or was that a promotion? When Ron was on last week, he was trying to tell me that there's no shipping, and I just cannot believe that they could do something like that. Is that true?
Jay, I thought we've talked about this before, bro. There is absolutely no cost to ship your orders through GarageGearClothing.com.
Dude, I mean, nothing against people that have had amnesia. I don't remember talking about that. It's hard to believe that they've got stuff as low as $5 and it's no shipping. I just can't believe that.
It's hard to believe, I know, but it is true. So true.
Yeah, and don't forget, Garage Gear, although they're on the rise with their Facebook and Instagram following, they're really hitting strides on YouTube and TikTok. So they're killing it. Go out there. They go to a lot of shows. I mean, we got to tell Lonnie and those guys and Crystal and Radar to kind of slow down a little bit, Mike, because they're starting to kind of surpass us. And I think the rumor on the street is if they hit enough shows this year, they might grass pass Tickmark Willie. You know Tickmark.
Tickmark will never be passed. That is not going to happen. So no worries there, Jay. I promise you, no worries. And hey, Jay, don't forget, he's got to go to all these shows because Lonnie's got that YouTube channel. And so, guys, we want to see Lonnie get paid. So make sure you watch that YouTube channel from the beginning all the way to the end. It's only 2 minutes long, and I know you guys know all about 2 minutes because, hey, Jay, it's Dizzy and his beautiful wife's anniversary, and we all know Dizzy's only going to last 2 minutes. So this is going to be the best 2 minutes of her 19 years of this anniversary. So congratulations and happy anniversary. Well, I think happy anniversary, but it's going to be a good 2 minutes anyway. You know what I'm saying?
I think you spent way too much with strawberry shortcake up in Sevierville for the Spark Show. I don't know what it is. You got way too many details, man.
What a night that was, bro. I tell you, I will never forget that night. And with that being said, the Spark Show just announced their new 2022 dates. So be on the lookout for that. It's all over social media right now. So make sure y'all get ready for the Spark Show 2022 there in Sevierville, Tennessee.
Yeah, and speaking of something, I want to reinforce that there's the Spark Show, Sevierville. Think of the Spark Show in Sevierville. That's where they're at. They're up there in August. Okay? We are just talking about our homie Tickmark Willie, the DeCorvers, Kim and David. Great people. Want to reinforce to Mike's point a moment ago. They have a show that's in the other month that starts with an A, and that's April. Sparks in the Park. They have an event April 1st through the 3rd. Believe it or not, it's April 1st weekend, April Fool's weekend. But Sparks in the Park show is going down, and of course that's in the Panhandle. Really looking forward to that. But Mike, yeah, Tickmark Willie, I think if we all kind of can come together, we can grass pass him. Here's the thing. He's trying to do like a Deion Sanders, I heard. He's going to go to one show, and then Kim's going to be at that show, and then he's going to helicopter in to another show because he's really trying to get all the tick marks. And I'm just wondering if that's going to be legal in this OLP, the sanctioned book that we've got, you know? I mean, we'd have to go to the code, you know?
I hope you have a big enough binder to fit all these tick marks in this binder for him. Because, yeah, Niceville, Florida is where you're going to see the Sparks in the Park. That's where the show is held, so make sure you guys are there next year. And it's no joke, guys. It's on April Fool's Day.
Yep. I can't wait. So, yeah, talking about the homies, thanks again, Garage Gear Clothing, 0 shipping on all US of A orders. Okay, Mike, speaking of shows, we kind of hinted at some of them there, but the key show updates, dude, I want to reinforce. Now, listen, I'm going to delete some of this out, Mike.
Uh-oh.
I know you've been really, trying to, force me into, talking about some show in January. Listen.
Uh-oh.
if I got to get Jim Moore to reinforce to you, I'm down for the playoffs. Okay, so I don't know what I'm going to be doing in January. Hopefully, with A-Rod back, I'm going to be watching the pack, kind of leading through. Maybe a first round bye, kind of maybe. I'm hoping for a divisional win. You punch your way to the NFC Championship, and then you might be able to punch your way through there. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but you keep telling me about some show in Deltona. How do you say it?
Actually, that would be Ormond Beach, Florida, sir. And it's going to be July 21st through the 23rd, 2022. It's going to be a car, truck, and audio show. They're at Destination Daytona, and the name of that show is called Eastbound Get Down.
Are you coming off the top awning deal? Are they going to allow that into, like, you're going to do a backflip into the big kiddie thing where it, like, kind of the bouncy deal?
Well, considering that there is a big fountain there, and it's got this big pool inside this fountain, and our buddies over at LCD Podcast, he likes to go playing in these fountains, and he had an After Dark shirt on while he was doing it. So, man, Lee, I don't know what you're thinking, homie. So I got to keep Lee out of that fountain and out of that pool because it's restricted. But what I thought about doing was just getting on one of the hogs. They got the Harley Davidson dealership right there, and I'm going to just haul ass across the parking lot in this thing, come off the Harley Davidson as you're driving it. I'm jumping off your shoulders onto Lee with the flying elbow, and I'm going to put him into that fountain. Off the top. Jimmy Superfly Snuka style into the fountain. What do you think?
Dude, I think it's some weird stuff, man. I mean, but hey, you run your show. I mean, again, I'm talking Jim Mora. Playoffs. You know what I mean? So, I do know two guys that are going to be there. The big homies, Mach 1 Media.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
Tucker, Jonathan, good people. Okay, Mach 1 Tuck. MACH number one. MACH number one. Type that in Instagram. There's three of them. There's Tucker. There's Jonathan. Jon. Jonathan. And then there's Mach 1 Media. Love what these guys do. I recently talked to them, dude. They said they're willing to hang out with a couple old dudes like we are, and they're willing to come on the podcast. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking we can highlight some young cats. We're gonna have Solomon on. Solomon's younger than me and you and I. These guys, we got to get them on soon, man. They've been on the list. Mach 1 Tuck. Mach 1 Jonathan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like you said, man, 24, 25 years old and doing some real big things. It's really good to see. Yeah,
you had a whole nother career when you were that age. I heard you were running in some circles, and that was when the VHS game was like before the DVDs popped off. I heard you were like kind of the master P of selling them out the trunk, and I don't even know what that really meant.
Well, do you remember that Columbia House?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, dude. It used to be the Columbia House King, dude. Telling you, I would order CDs off that like no tomorrow. Nobody's business.
CDs code for the VHS tapes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like, rims instead of wheels. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And dude, I used to take those CDs. I had 4 other brothers, so I'd use all their names and I'd put the addresses on there and get all these free CDs, and I would turn around and take them to high school and sell these motherfuckers, man. It was awesome.
Dude, you were hustling back in the day. I mean, I knew that you probably had kind of like the Black Sheep CD. You remember The Choice Is Yours, and you had all. I mean, that was when you were starting to really become a hip hop artist, man. I mean, supposedly, from what I heard, Shannon was telling me all this. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe, but
Mike the White.
Yeah, just a few show updates. And I can confidently say that because this weekend is Small Town Throwdown over in St. Cloud. Mike, are you going to gallivant up there? And I mean, dude, we got to get an official ruling. Are you going to be representing OLP, or are you going to be representing the show that you just talked about? Because I mean, dude, all the Airhead Nation keeps hitting me up, going, "Where's Mike?" And I go, "Well, listen, I've got to enforce sanctions on you. Like if the photos aren't flowing, you know what I'm saying?"
Well, actually, there will not be any representation of anything.
Oh, shit.
I will be there, but it will be a very short time because I got to pick up some stuff. I got to drop off some stuff.
Dude.
My daughter turns 21 this weekend, so we will be at.
We'll pick Ashley up and take her over there, man. I mean, you can't leave your boy Matt hanging, dude. Matt's gonna be. I mean, I'll edit this part out. I mean, he won't hear this, but dude, he's not gonna be happy. So I'm just saying, I mean, hopefully he's got the OLP giveaways. At least he can maybe raise some money for the good cause they're doing that he just talked about. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I met up with Matt and already gave him and his lovely wife, Michelle, the OLP giveaway items. So they already have those.
Good.
So that will be taken care of. And I will be going by, dropping some stuff off, picking some stuff up. And then I got to get back to we will be at Universal Studios on Saturday, and Friday is Epcot, and then Universal Studios is Saturday. We got Halloween Horror Nights Saturday, so I will be busy.
Van. But 21, dude. I mean, I can't give you too much of a hard time for that one.
Oh, let's hear it, man. Because
man, I wouldn't do that to Ashley. I mean, I would do that to you. But Ashley, you know what I'm saying? We go way back. She's cool. So you know what I'm saying?
To be 21 again, brother. I tell you what.
I'm telling you. Well, if you're going to be out in St. Cloud, make sure you check the hashtag. If you're there and you're posting photos, hashtag Small Town Throwdown. We'll be tagging them with any photos that we see. I told the homie I really wish I could be there, but I had this unique opportunity to go out to Cali. Going. Back to where, Mike?
Cali.
Boom. Slamfest, you'll hear, we'll talk about that a little bit before the audio comes in. Want to reinforce 9th and 10th of October. Many of you have hit me up to say, hey, I want to fly in, I want to drive in. October 9th and 10th, Slamfest30 hashtag for more. Of course, it's minimadness.com. You can pre-register right there. Super simple. Tampa, Florida. SEMA, we talked about, that's the first week in November. The week after SEMA, you have Laying at the Lake. This is in Grapeland, Texas, the 12th, 13th, 14th. The homie hit me up. They've been doing great with the pre-orders for the pre-registration, rather. So they're doing fantastic stuff there. And then Mike, Bayou Showdown is that following week. So a lot going on there. I do need to take some time. I've been saying this. I need to refresh the OLP calendar going into next year because we have those Lone Star Throwdown dates. We have the Orange Beach Invasion dates. You mentioned the Spark Show, which is in August. Sparks in the Park, of course, April. So a lot of that stuff is already kind of coming together. We got to figure out what we can and what we can't go to next year. But rest assured, we'll be bringing you guys exclusive content from all of these different show promoters. And the video on OLP's YouTube channel will continue to stay on the rise.
Hey, you saying that there, let's emphasize that you talk about what we can and what we can't. We're pretty much already dedicated what we can do for next year. We will release that later because I know we've had show promoters reach out to us. We have had to cut back. Because of schedule and whatnot. So, but what we want to do if we can't make it to shows is we do want to highlight shows and we do want to put the word out for the shows and help get the word out for the shows to promote the shows. So definitely reach out to us that way. But just so everybody's clear and heads up that our actual vending at shows is going to be is going to cut back next year.
Yeah, and then we're going to continue the online piece, which is going to be huge. But what Mike's trying to say is if you're a Sons of Anarchy fan, he's starting his own kind of like a production company like Cara, what Jackson and them were running on the Sons of Anarchy deal. So Mike, I mean, I was kind of offended that, I wasn't, asked to be a partner in all of this. I guess it's just you and Big John, so... Saying with his Escalade over at Jimmy's Running Customs, I mean, I guess I just don't get a piece of the adult deal you guys are working on. So is that? Oh, I had the. Oh, my bad. I didn't realize that's a joke, right? I can't remember where I'm at.
Well, actually, it was Shannon and Kim that started that production company.
Oh, yeah, it's even better.
Yeah, we were allowed to they pretty much put it on us as we were the ones that are doing it, but it's really them. And yeah, so I was just lucky enough to be involved with it. That's all.
Real deal. Love it. If you can, go out to minitruckfilm.com. This section, the Key Show Updates, brought to you by the West Coast Influence. And believe it or not, it's just minitruckfilm.com. You can order the Blu-ray or DVD. This is a mini truck inspired film. Radar spent his own money. You can go out there again, Blu-ray, DVD, or custom die casts available. The trailer is actually on their main webpage, minitruckfilm.com. Mike, we didn't get a chance to really go into Joey's show, Attitude Check. I really appreciate what he does. He's been doing this. I want to say it was the 9th year, and
Yes,
I don't think he gets enough credit. Everybody that I heard that went to the show had a good time. So I'd love to get Joey on within the next week and talk a little bit about it. But Mike, lay down a promo for the Get Decked, man, because I tell you what, is the whole Get Decked on the rise or what?
Dude, it has been on the rise, and if you guys need any kind of skate deck, okay, and it doesn't matter if you need one, it doesn't matter if you need 100, okay, get with Joey over at Get Decked, and he can make it happen for you. So, Jay, go ahead and give them that Instagram handle so they can look them up on Instagram, because everybody's on Instagram. So look them up and get those. If you're a show, if you have anything, a club, whatever you want, he can put it on a damn skate deck for you. So hit up Joey and get the damn thing, because you guys love those damn skate decks. And so we got some more coming, and we can't wait.
Yeah, you could type in Get Decked, 2 words or together, and then on Facebook, Get Decked as well. And you're going to see it pulls up Joey Dilworth. You can message him. Of course, it goes down in the DM. But seriously, if you have a photo, if you have some artwork from your guy or lady, in terms of show artwork, and you want to do maybe a top 10, maybe you want to do a raffle prize. I know our friend Jason Bell over at Southeast Mini Truck and Nats, he has done fantastic with some of the stuff that he's done with that amazing graphic disorder artwork. But Joey can take care of you guys. If you want to get a gift for your significant other and put his or her vehicle on a deck, on a snowboard, you name it, to hang in the garage, the man cave, the Woe Man Cave, reach out to them. They'll knock it out the park. But, Mike, the podcast updates, no new Apple podcast reviews, but if you leave one, please do that. You can tap the 5-star review. You can also go in there and tap and write a review. And if you read, if you leave that, we'll read that on a future episode. So we appreciate that. And then, Mike, dude, we got this figured out. Ron's got some stuff going down, as we mentioned, with his new pre-order. But, dude, we got something big coming on 9/9. You know how I love dates, Mike. But we're super excited about this new one, man, aren't we?
Oh, brother, can't wait. And we have the proof. And let me tell you, graphic disorder absolutely knocked it out of the park once again. And this is exciting because it's got two females trucks on it, and that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it really is, and we worked hard on this one. The thought process and the things that we kind of go through. I tell you, Mike, it's something that's really just ingrained in the scene, and I don't want to give too much more about that, but I mean, east to west, I think this one's going to be beloved. It's going to be able to be morphed into some couple things. And we got to just thank all the ladies out there. We've had many on. We've got to have so many more on. Both of these ladies have been on OLP. And we are super excited. They're great. They're 2 wonderful women that represent the scene. And this shirt is going to be for men. It's going to be for the ladies. It's going to be for the scene. And you guys are going to love it. 9/9. Just get ready. We're coming out swinging.
9/9. I love it. Love it.
And, Mike, just to jump into the Airhead Nation updates, this one, dude, I just want to take a break for a second and say, hey, shout out all the listeners, young, old, like Mike. Mike, you're getting older, right? Dude, have a safe Labor Day weekend. There's that little stretch between Independence Day here in the U.S. July 4th weekend, and then obviously over to the first Monday in September, Labor Day weekend. Mike, it is a good time. It kind of signifies like this in a lot of places in the U.S., the end of summer. But, dude, we're far from it, aren't we, down here in Florida? We're far from the end of summer.
No, and what we're also far from over is damn hurricane season, and thoughts and prayers go out to all of our friends and family members and just everybody in that Louisiana area. So hopefully everybody, everything turned out okay for everybody, and everybody's still, everybody's good. So thoughts and prayers for all you guys up there in Louisiana.
Yeah, 1,000%. And here we are having such a good time on this episode, but that was something, I appreciate you bringing out, Mike, that we wanted to tie into this Airhead Nation particular segment. A lot of people are having, they have different situations going on, right? Depending on where you live, you have, the climate's been hot in certain areas, obviously in the summer, naturally, but you also have the storms, and you have, just people, family members, we're losing people everywhere. So in all seriousness, as good as life can be, just know that, your friends out there could be struggling, family members. And I encourage people just to, if you see folks that you think might need to just have a phone call and just check on them, do that. One of my buddies where I always go to eat, typically at lunch, his name's John. He's a good dude. And he told me the other day that he had a family member that was 48, beautiful woman, and she committed suicide, dude. And, he told me not a lot about it, but I said, man, is everything okay? And he said, well, she had 3 kids, one, son 22, 2 teenagers, and she had posted like 16 hours before on Facebook, and all she said was, I love you all, right? And that's not a bad thing. I mean, we see that kind of stuff all the time, but, if you suspect anything, or, you have a family member or coworker or whatever, man, like I would encourage you, like, if you think there's something, ask that person, hey, are you okay? I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not an expert at this stuff, but I think we all know that it's like, there's a lot of people going through things in life. And I just think it's important that we check on people. And, mentally, a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff. This last year and a half has been nuts. No matter how you slice and dice it, we've lost people. We've lost people like our friends Ernie and so many others like Greg. But I think, Mike, that's the positive message I think maybe I have for this week is just check on the homies, the chicas, the family members, the coworkers, because shit's crazy out there, man.
No, you are definitely right about that, and I know it's a busy time. I've been extremely busy with with my home watch business, and it's just one thing after another. It seems like, but take the time to definitely check in and make sure like you said, the homies are doing all right.
Yeah, and my closing thought on that piece was this kind of struck me when I was having lunch the other day, and he told me this, and I was getting ready to leave, and we ended up talking another 5 or 10 minutes, and he goes, yo, over the weekend, Jay, you had shared a video when you were at your parents' house, and it was like, he goes, it was the perfect time. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he goes, well, because a lot of times, like, you share a positive message, you don't have the homies and people chiming in like, oh, that's a great message or whatever. Because, people are like, people are people, they listen to it or they move on and that's it. But he was like, yo, mentally I was going through a lot when I found this out about my family member. And he said, it's just a positive message. And I shared it on my BD94S10 Instagram. And really what it was is just have fun in life, get out there, do the things you want to do. Obviously, we've all, like Mike, you just said, we've all have responsibilities. We have the grinds that we have to go through and stuff. But when you hear from Soloman in a few minutes, I mean, dude, this guy's a young dude, but he's out having a good time. And he ran into some huge hiccups, and he could be down on life, but he's happier than ever, So, we all have different situations, different money, different this, different that. But listen, man, some of the people that I know that have the least amount of money in life have more fun than anyone I know. So get out there, enjoy the stuff you love doing. But I guess the other piece is, talk to your loved ones, get to know them. My dad started typing and writing all kinds of stuff that was in his head that he wanted the family, certain things that he wanted us to, to remember, or things that like I never knew, like when he started his first job and, the things he went through in life, kind of like a journal, right? He's like, I'm writing my memoirs, I'm writing this stuff. And I learned a lot through reading a lot of that stuff. So, encourage, your family members to write stuff down as they get older. Maddie's grandfather just turned 91 last month. Dude, the guy's still out, drives around, just bought a new Cadillac, just enjoys life. Gives me a lot of hope that, I'm not yet, hopefully, at my midlife crisis. So, dude, just do what you do, have fun, and enjoy life.
Well said, my friend. Well said. And I mean, hey, because we all know life is way too short, and you never know. You're definitely not guaranteed tomorrow.
That's it, man. And I think that's all I got. I mean, again, we might have hopefully John Turner, a little bit of audio from him, 10, 15 minutes, talk about Trucks and Cheeseburgers coming up in a couple weeks. It's on Sunday. And then, of course, we've got Soloman Lunger. Again, he's got a huge cult following. Don't want to give too much away. You guys can listen to that. But, Mike, I think with that being said, I just want to thank Colorado Custom Wheels for the continued support. They have great products. Go to coloradocustom.com. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. It goes down in the DM. Hit up Michael and team. They will take care of you. I think that's all I got, man.
Hey, with Airhead Nation, with that being said, we are...
Achia. And, Mike, when I change the number next week, don't be dialing in, dog.
Hey, good luck, because my source is pretty damn good. That's all I can say.
All right, be safe, y'all.
See ya.
Yo, as I mentioned at the beginning, we got Big Juice, man. What's going down, John Turner?
Good, man. How's it going? How you been?
Man, everything's good, dude. Always good to link up with you, bro. You've been doing this truck stuff, man. We've had you on before, man. Dude, we're not getting any younger, are we?
No, that's for sure. But we're still getting, we get better with age, right? So we're doing good.
Yeah,
and
good.
Keep it going here.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Well, there's two things we know that you love. One starts with the T, that's trucks, and one starts with the Chi, and it's cheeseburgers. And you've obviously continued your kind of yearly, I'll call it a gathering. You've continued that throughout the years. Trucks and Cheeseburgers is coming up, man. What can you tell us about this upcoming event here in a few weeks?
Yeah, man. So just coming up in just over 2 weeks on September 19th. It's going to be I guess we'll call it the third annual, since I kind of had it last year. Trucks and Cheeseburgers Picnic is what I call it. That's my little take of cars and coffee. But, I'm not a morning person, so I like doing afternoon things. So that's why I like cheeseburgers in the afternoon. So, I did the first one in 2019. It was a big success. And then last year we weren't really able to do it because of the pandemic. I just kind of turned it into a cruise night thing at a country bar. But this year, it's going to be a lot bigger, a lot better. Back at the Okehely Park in West Palm Beach, Florida. The Micanopy, I keep wanting to say My Canopy, but it's Micanopy.
Right.
Micanopy Pavilion, same place it was in June of 2019. Anyone that came out, so same exact spot, same exact picnic, same exact park.
Excellent. And the cool thing is, we all live in this social media world. John's going to hit on some of the key things. I would ask that many of you are on Facebook, you're on Instagram, look up Trucks and Cheeseburgers. As soon as you type in trucks with an S and then you start typing and, it's going to pop up. Now, I also want people, maybe new listeners, to know, you've been doing this event a long time. Obviously, you kind of had a different naming convention before, and you've switched things up. So really, even though it's a third annual event, it's something that you've been doing. Do you remember approximately what year you kind of started doing it?
We actually did the first one at Okehely Park was in 2002, I believe it was. Me and Bruce Rivera, rest in peace, Local Minis, when we had Local Minis West Palm chapter. That was the first one me and him just did ourselves, 2002, 2003. We did 2 or 3 of them, and then we skipped a year, kind of when Local Minis broke up. And then we were planning it. Actually, we did it in 2007, and then that was the year he passed a few months later. And we did it every year from 2007 to 2018 or 2017. So basically, I stopped the locomotives bit, and that's when I joined Relaxed. So we took a year off, and then 2019 is when I kind of switched it to my UA Low Trucks brand and did the UA Low Trucks Trucks and Cheeseburgers picnic. But yes, so it's been at the same park since almost 20 years now. It seems like, boy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm glad you broke it down. It's Okeechobee Park. I can never say that.
Yeah, Okeechobee Park. So again, just Google that. It's on Forest Hill Boulevard, right by the Turnpike, in West Palm Beach, Florida. So Okeechobee Park, Micanopy Pavilion. Oh, I can't even say that word. But yeah, so look at that again, like Trucks and Cheeseburgers Picnic on Instagram, Trucks and Cheeseburgers Picnic, like an event page on Facebook. Or there's links from the UA Low Trucks Instagram or UA Low Trucks Facebook page also.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you mentioned your dear friend Bruce Rivera, rest in peace. It was July 10th, I think, of 2007. Unfortunately, that's a celebration we don't want to, have to go through each year. But obviously, we want to celebrate his life. And you've always done a great job, Bob, on the couch as well, and some others. But rest in peace to those guys. And it's been good that you've been able to carry on. Again, you love trucks, you love cheeseburgers. Boom. I loved when you first came out with the name of this. I was like, hey, I'm down with that, because I'm also not, even though I get up early during the week, probably like you, when Saturday or Sunday rolls around, everyone's like, oh, we're going to be at Trucks, or we're going to be at Cars and Coffee at, 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, I'm not, because I don't know what it is on the weekend. Like, I kind of don't want to get up that early.
That's my thought too, man. These guys could have. I mean, God bless them. Good for them. It's the one we have in West Palm is a great event. I know the guy that puts it on, and it's great. It's a huge event, and every once in a while I'll go to it. But man, I just can't go every month. You got to be there at 7-8 a.m. on a Sunday morning. That's just not me. So I don't do that.
Oh yeah, for sure. So the key things, right, there's, when you think about the event, right, there's no fee to get in. Talk to us a little bit about the logistics. I think some of that is continuing to improve each year. So when they get there, do they have to pay? Where do they park and that kind of stuff, John?
Yeah, no, so it's completely free. Like, there's not even a charge to get in the park. I know some parks charge a couple of bucks per person or per car to get in. Palm Beach County parks, they don't even charge to get in. So the park is completely free. You're going to go in, like I said, just go into the park from Forest Hill Boulevard and look for My Canopy Pavilion, Micanopy Pavilion. It'll be on your left. There'll be a big sign, and then there's a huge circle that goes all the way around the pavilion. There's a big grass area in the middle with the pavilion, and there's parking on both sides of it's a one-way road, and there's parking on both sides. I think there's about 100 parking spots. I think I counted them a couple of years ago when I was there. So in 2019, that's all we had was basically those 100 spots. And it filled up, and then they were parking people. Park rangers came, and they were parking people like at the next pavilion and walking them down. Well, this year I got a special events permit, so I can do more things. So there's, in the grass area in the middle, there's a gate to get into that. So they're letting me use that. So, obviously I shouldn't say this, but don't tear up the grass, don't do anything stupid. But right. People are going to be allowed to park in the grass in the center area now. And so what we'll have, I'm going to have like a 10 by 10 tent, or we got shirts. I got banners this year with the event artwork. The artwork from Graphic Disorder. They always do awesome work. And so we're limited. The food. I usually buy about 150 hamburgers and like 75 hot dogs, and then some sodas, bottled water, stuff like that. Thanks to You Pull and Pay of West Palm, they sponsored the food. They sponsor the cost of the pavilion and stuff. They're great guys, and Carlos and them actually helped me cook 2 years ago. Hoping they're coming back again this year, so I don't have to do everything. Cooking's fun, but it's a pain when I'm trying to do everything else too. So looking forward to those guys helping me out. And we also offer, if anyone wants to bring, chips, like I buy some stuffed chips, but if anybody wants to bring any kind of sides or desserts or something to share, you're more than welcome to. That's always appreciated, but don't feel that you need to just come out. I always say, hey man, it's just come hang out, talk trucks, look at trucks, hang out with your friends for a couple hours on a Sunday afternoon. That's all we're looking to do.
Man, I love hearing it, and it's awesome that you've been doing this truck stuff for such a long time. It kind of seems like to me it's a way for you to give back. But there's a rich history of a lot of clubs down there. You mentioned a few, but that's one thing I like about going down to that area, because you're going to see guys that, may not, with families and things like that, they may not be able to go to a lot of shows and whatnot, but it's a good mix of a lot of different people, different clubs, even some different genres, lowrider guys come through. So I always love kind of seeing that. Now, it looks like from Facebook, you mentioned you pull and pay West Palm Beach. Of course, your Big Cartel, why don't you plug that page? Can people buy the show shirt there at the event, or is it going to be online? And how does that work? If you have leftovers, do you sometimes post them?
Yeah, they're actually on there right now because I had done a pre-order beforehand, and I just got the shirts like last week from Graphic Disorder. So all the pre-orders have been shipped out. I shipped them out over the weekend. So it's youain'tlowtrucks.bigcartel.com is the website. I have the C10. I had a C10 crew cab shirt made like a year ago. There's some of those still I have it, in stock are on the website. The event shirts. I have some hats. And I actually just ordered some Arctic 30-ounce tumblers too, with the logo etched on them, that are going to be here in time for the show. And I made one with the You Ain't Low Trucks logo on the front, and then the picnic logo is on the back. And I'm going to give that away for best truck. Like, it's not a show. There's no judging. There's nothing. But I like to go around and just pick basically one truck that I like the best. May not be the best truck, have the most detail or the most this or the most that, but it's the truck I like there the best, and that's what I pick.
Yeah, it's your event, and you want to do something.
Right. So I always like to do a little, something. So I was getting the tumblers made, so that'd be cool, because then they can use in the future. It's not something, you can put on the shelf if you want, but it's something you can actually use if you want to also. So like I said, that's being made. So I got the proof of it. I haven't got it yet, but as soon as I get it, I'm gonna post a picture of it. So that's pretty cool that I got that.
Excellent. Yeah, I love hearing that. The great thing is you've kind of reinforced there's really no cost. I mean, if somebody wants to bring out some potato salad or whatever to have with their crew or whatever, hey, they could do that, I'm sure.
Yep.
The event's free. We've established that. Of course, kind of looking at, based upon Facebook, about a 5-hour deal Sunday, September 19th. Some folks, including I'm gonna maybe try to come down on Saturday. Some guys I'm sure will be getting together and that type of stuff, but there's no official like kind of pre-party on Saturday, because obviously Sunday's going to be a long day, I would imagine.
Yeah, some of us get together on Saturday afternoon, go to dinner or something like that, and stuff like that. I try to get everything organized and loaded in the truck, Saturday, so less to do on Sunday. But yeah, so the picnic itself is Sunday. It's about 11 a.m. I put 11 to 4, I think, on the thing. So that's usually, we usually fire up the grill around noon, start cooking, so just come hang out for a few hours and hang out.
Yeah, good stuff. Now, you did mention earlier, obviously, for those that don't know, if you're a new listener, John, he also has, not only does he have the Trucks and Cheeseburgers, but you mentioned the You Ain't Low brand. You can just type in YOU Ain't Low Trucks all together. Love seeing what you're doing over there. Before we touch upon that, anything else that you wanted to hit on with the Trucks and Cheeseburgers picnic?
No, I guess, like I said, just come out and hang out. Was there anything else? No, I think we're good.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So the You Ain't Low Trucks, obviously you've been doing awesome stuff over there. And what's kind of one thing that you're seeing out there in the truck world that you appreciate right now? I mean, there's just so many trucks, right? But, is there one trend that you're seeing or anything that's spinning in your mind? Because I know you're always looking to build trucks, right? I mean, you always want to have yours, kind of the next level and stuff. Anything, that you're seeing out there that's really kind of piquing your interest?
I'm actually loving the fact of, like you guys coined, minis on the rise, man. I love the mini trucks are coming back. That was my first truck when I was 16, was a B2200. And I've always been a Mazda guy. If people don't know, I have a Mazda Proceed Marvi, which is the SUV version of that was never imported into the United States. As far as I know, it's one of 3 in the country. And it'll be at the picnic. Come hang out, check it out. And I actually bought a Datsun 720 not a Nissan, a Datsun, the original one. It's an 82 diesel. I haven't done anything to it yet. I'm probably going to bring that to the picnic too, just to have it there. But I want to do like a old school with like some 15x8 wheels that stick out in a dump bed. Probably going to work on that later this year and have it out for maybe a couple of shows next.
Kick ass.
Yeah, just a couple of mini trucks. I got my Ram that I want to bag. I'm on the list for Jimmy's to probably do the Ram if I keep it long enough. I've had it about a year. I don't keep it for that long.
Yeah, your timeline's ticking.
So
that's cool,
we'll
man.
see if that happens, or I don't know. I think everyone's trying to convince me to sell that and buy a new Silverado because he's doing a couple of Silverados. Jimmy's doing a couple of brand new Silverados right now, and maybe get on the next wave of those in a year or so. But I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, I was always a fan of I think it was the 2015, the black one. Really loved that truck, and it's still down in the South area. I think it kind of changed look, had a wrap for a minute, that type of thing, but that truck was always pretty cool. So we talked about You Ain't Low Trucks. Now, you can follow John. It's original, so you got to type in original, the entire word. It always takes me a minute when I'm looking for it because I always want to type in You Ain't Low. But if you type in original and then the letter U and then ain't and then LO, you'll see his individual personal Instagram. The 720 is sick. The Marvy, I'm glad you brought that up because we had Red Beard on. What a great guy he is, and he's one of those other individuals that has one. I love seeing the photos, and you don't even really drive it that much, right, John?
No, I mean, I wish I could drive it more, because I have a company van I drive, so I don't drive anything to work. So I feel, I don't know, I almost feel like I'm wasting sometimes because I have 3 trucks now and I don't drive any of them on a regular basis. I wish I could drive something more often,
Yeah, you're like, I got to balance this out. You're like, I got lots of cheeseburger. I like cheeseburgers, I like trucks. How do I balance it? But I did have a question for you about the Marvy. When that was imported in, yours was a little bit different than when we had Redbeard on, because when he was on, he kind of talked about how he had moved from over there and that type of thing. And it's probably similar on the import piece, but was it like a pain to be able to go get it registered and stuff, or was that smooth overall?
You got to get a broker. It's kind of like you got to pay the, I don't know what's the word. I'm like, you got to grease the right people. Right. So it's like you can't even do it yourself. I hate to say it like that. But it's just a process that the government has that you got to pay the guy that knows how to do it, that has the paperwork, that has the license. So you just got to give him all the paperwork and then pay him his fee, and then he gets it registered.
Got it.
Or gets it through because they do it, if people are familiar, basically any car that's over 25 years old, you can now legally import as long as you do the paperwork properly. So this thing's a 94. It was imported in 2019, right when it turned 25 years old. So that's all you got to do. So you just got to know the right people, and it's anything, you just got to know the process, get the process done, and it's not a big deal at all.
Yeah, my buddy, my buddy Tony, he has those little, I don't know, you see them in Japan all the time, those little trucks with a bed on it. I mean, I want to call it a mini truck, but it's not a mini truck as we know it. It's minier than mini.
That's what they call them. Yeah, it's almost like a cab overlooking kind of cab, little tiny things. Yes, I've seen those. I've seen them on, because right-hand drive cars are more popular now. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple of little dealerships that are importing them and selling them. And I follow a couple of people on Instagram, and they call them mini trucks. But like you said, it's not what we consider mini trucks. But I guess that's kind of what they are.
He got his through a guy in Orlando, and he bought one that his family wanted one, so then they bought one. Well, then the paperwork wasn't straight on the other one, and they've been trying to get the paperwork from the guy, and it's like a pain. So, but to your point, I mean, if you have a smooth transaction, it's kind of cool. You mentioned that rule. I don't know a lot about it, but I do know that it kind of opens the door a little bit. When I was at Relaxed in the Northwest, the Awakening a couple years ago, the homie, and he even brought it to Mini Nats this year. He had the crew cab Isuzu pickup, the Holden. And you just see that. I mean, even just static drop, you're like, dude, I mean, I could rock that every day. It's so different. You just don't see that. And I love that we have a little bit more flexibility here. We're trying to, bring those trucks over.
Yeah. I would love to get a crew cab Mazda pickup too, to kind of have the pair of them. I think would be really cool. I stumbled across that 720, an hour from my house, which I can never find anything, in South Florida. So from the original owner, so that's why I bought it. I'm really a Mazda guy, so my plan was to eventually, probably next year, get a crew cab Mazda pickup. Try to get one over here, because there's a guy that imports them from Australia.
Yep.
So I was thinking about that in the back of my mind, so I'd have the pair. And then, like I said, I stumbled across the 720, and it was just too clean not to buy, so I bought it. I'll probably play around with that, and I'll probably end up selling that next year, and then maybe get the Mazda then.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on before next year. I'm going to put it before the end of the year. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, it needs a flex window. Those are the shit in those trucks. I love it. I always follow. I know your boy Jay's got his brand. I love 720 era brand. He's got a cool page too, and that's what I always think when I see those. But before we wrap up, dude, I did want to just let everyone know, when you think about you've been doing this stuff a long time. Love that you guys roll together with Relaxed, but for anybody that doesn't know, Relaxin' Florida puts together Relaxin' on the Ranch, and the event next week, John, keep me honest, is Saturday, March 5th of 2022. So I know you're looking forward to that as well.
Yes. And we also do a little combination thing so the Relax on the Ranch is technically only on the Saturday.
Right.
But we're trying to encourage people to come for the weekend. So we do an event Friday night and Saturday night. So we incorporate, because Trucks and Cheeseburgers is my thing. So we do a Trucks and Cheeseburgers kind of welcome barbecue Friday night. Anyone that comes out to the show at River Ranch Friday night in the campground area, we do a little cookout, and welcome party. So keep that in mind, for Relaxing on the Ranch. Definitely feel free to come out Friday night and then hang out with us, and then do the show on Saturday. And then Saturday night, we've been doing a movie, or River Ranch has a bunch of stuff. They have a cool rodeo that a lot of people do. So there's lots of events at Relax on the Ranch at River Ranch too. That's a fun weekend. Even though, like I said, technically the show is only Saturday, we all go out for the weekend and just have a good time.
Yeah, my goal is to come Friday this next year, because it's like the last couple of years I come early Saturday, and I love the drive over there. I mean, it's just a beautiful part of the state. And then, try to peel out and get home, and it's like a long drive home. So being able to come out Friday, I mean, there's camping options, there's RV options, there's even hotel options, I believe. But they have
their own hotel right there on property.
Yeah, it's got it all. So, kind of wanted everyone to know that although John's Trucks and Cheeseburgers event is getting ready to come up here on September 19th, Relaxing them as a group, as a chapter, they obviously put on Relaxing on the Ranch, and that's going to be March 5th next year. So we're looking forward to doing that. But yeah, man, I'm glad we got a chance a little bit to talk about your mini trucks, because I know we've all got this addiction to trucks in general, but you've always done good with like mixing stuff up. You've jumped to different brands and tried and built and sold, and then you just love doing the stuff, and it's always good to sync up with you, John.
Yeah, definitely. It was good talking to you too.
Yeah, and if we could ever get the guy from, if you've never watched Trailer Park Boys, Randy, he loves cheeseburgers. He walks around with his shirt off all the time, and he's always making cheeseburgers. And like somehow we need to get him to Trucks and Cheeseburgers one year, because I know he would love it. But
that'd be great.
Anyways, Big Juice, man, it's always good syncing up with you. Everyone go check out his pages, and we'll talk to you soon, homie.
All right, yeah, thanks again.
Yep, and we're on to the audio with Soloman Lunger. You guys enjoy the weekend. We out here. Yo, and as I mentioned, we're getting ready to roll in here with audio. Would like to remind everyone that Slamfest 30, yes, the 30th anniversary of the famed Slamfest is going down this year in October, 2 months away or so, in sunny Tampa, Florida. Come on down the 9th and 10th of October. Make those plans now. Always beautiful weather, knock on wood, in October, and it's the 30th anniversary for Slamfest. You can check the hashtag Slamfest30 for more, or just search Slamfest on Facebook. Pre-registration is still happening. You can save $20, and that $20 is like getting a free show shirt. Go out there today, Slamfest on Facebook. Yo, as I mentioned, man, super excited. We're going back to Cali. That'll tie in here. We'll jump right in with the big homie, Soloman. What's going down, my friend?
What up, dude? Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, man. I tell you, you've been on our list. I know we synced up at Jimmy's Rod and Customs a while back. Seems like yesterday. World's changed a lot since then. But, man, I got so much I want to talk about. You know, the passion that you have. You're crisscrossing the country. You're a young cat. You're doing all the stuff you love. But, Soloman, why don't you just start and give a little bit of background, on yourself?
What's up, everybody? I am Soloman Lunger. Let me see what title should I give? I guess I'm a commercial automotive photographer. I've done tech editing, and then lately I'm more of an influencer and YouTuber with my channel and all that kind of stuff. But just someone in the automotive world, been around it for a long time in a bunch of different stuff, and now I'm just kind of enjoying trying to do it my way.
I love hearing it. I remember seeing your name, I want to say the first time, kind of in the pages of magazines, and I was like, oh, that's a cool name, right? Talk to us a little bit about where you grew up, because, I mean, you're also a young cat, too, still.
Yeah, so I'm 28. I was born in New York, and my parents moved to Miami when I was 5. So I was pretty much raised in Miami, so, all of schooling and everything was in Miami. And then that gave me, I feel like Miami has a very strong donk presence.
Yes.
I really grew up around a lot of that, and that was actually pretty much how I got introduced into the automotive world, was in the donk world. I was part of Swift Car Club, and then just grew through that, and then had a little bit of a awakening. I kind of got out of the automotive photography stuff. In the meantime, I just skipped 5 years worth of stuff I could go into, but I kind of grew out of that segment. I got into real estate photography, got bored, and then Mike Alexander became the tech editor for F100 Builder's Guide, and me and Mike are homies, and he did the first issue, and I think he did a good job, but he didn't really feature a lot of trucks that are very current. So I already had started Ford there, and I knew all the Ford guys, so I was like, hey man, let me help you out. So I kind of by mistake got myself back in, and then really fell back in love with the industry and got into the into the truck side of stuff. But it's kind of funny that I came from the donk world in a way.
Oh yeah, Mike's been around, obviously, going back a long time with Mini Truckin and different publications. So pretty cool that you got a chance to link up with him. The one thing I wanted you to give out is, kind of earlier in the episode here, why don't you give out, you mentioned Ford Era, and then give out your Instagram, any social media stuff. That way, if somebody's at home and they're listening right now, they can go out and check your stuff out as we kind of get, diving in here a little deeper.
Yeah, so my personal Instagram is Soloman Lunger. That's SOLOMON LUNGER. And then my other one is The Ford Era, and that's where I post 1948 to 1997 Ford trucks. And, I mean, it's pretty awesome. I started it just because there was all my friends had Chevys, and there was a bunch of Chevy pages, but I liked Fords, and there were no Ford pages. So I decided to just start one, and had no idea what it was going to turn into.
Yeah, so we're talking with Soloman Lunger. Obviously, he's mentioned he does a lot of freelance work, working under the F100, Builder's Guide, Umbrella, and so much more. Now, something that you mentioned just now with Ford Era, this brand, to me, it's amazing how you can start something and you can see it just flourish. And when I look at it, Instagram, 195,000 followers. Talk to us a little bit about the hustle that it's taken to get you to where you're at in terms of that brand.
So, of necessity, I actually started Unibody Union, which is my personal favorite types of Ford trucks, which is a 61 to 63 F100, and they're known as the Unibody because the cabin bed are one. Mm-hmm. So I started that, and I only posted, those 3 years of truck. But people would always message me, hey man, post up my truck, and it would be a bump side or a dent side or a fat fender, not a unibody. And I just didn't have anywhere to put it, and there was nowhere else to do it. So then I started Ford Era, and I was in college. I went to Wyotech, so during class, you have a lot of time to be on your phone and screw around. So I was just like, going on Google or Facebook and seeing cool pictures of trucks and posting it and tagging the owners and, just keep posting every day. I mean, I was probably, when I started, I bet I was posting at least 10 to 20 pictures a day on Instagram. Because, I mean, what else do you have to do? You're sitting in college, like, getting lectured from the teacher about, like, the combustion system of an engine. I mean, whatever it was, like, some days were boring,
Sure.
And I just had tons of time. So I would be posting. And, it would grow. And I never thought it would actually be, like, something that it would be a business. I just thought that, oh, this is cool and fun. And I enjoy looking at all these trucks. And what's the big... I was, so I was sitting in class, and I had plenty of time to be posting and engaging, and I never really kept track to kind of see how fast it was growing. I was just keeping up with it because it was something that would take up my time, and help me from being bored and just sitting around not doing anything. So I was posting all the time. Then So when I got back home to Miami, I kept up with it. Every day I was still posting, and I kind of made it a point to, like, back then I think I was doing like minimum 3 a day. I would be posting. And one of the things that I think that I found successful that a lot of people didn't do was I would tag the people that owned the trucks.
Sure.
I don't know why so many pages don't want to tag the owners. The way that I felt was like, if I tag the owners, they're going to look at the page, see, hey, this is a cool page. They post cool trucks, and then they're going to want to follow, And other pages, they never want to tag the owners because, like, they wanted to get paid to, tag people. And I never wanted to get paid for this stuff. So, like, I still till today, like, I don't charge people. Like, if a company wants me to do an ad for them, like, that's different. But, like, a regular person's like, hey, man, check out my truck. That's just how it is,
Yeah, exactly.
So I think having that mentality and just being lax about it and really just doing it for fun and not having an end goal, I think really just helped it. And then being passionate about it and, do it. I mean, it's been like since 2015, so almost 7 years, I guess. So it's definitely been a grind. And there's been times where it's like, it feels like a job only because you have so many things you have to do, and then it's like, oh, I need to post on Instagram. And people think like, oh, it's easy, just post on Instagram. But it's like, no, you got to find a good photo. You got to, make sure the caption's on point and make sure everything, the hashtags are good and all these stuff. And, it takes 20 minutes, half hour, and sometimes you just don't have 20 minutes to spare, and you got to do it anyway. So I'm not like complaining about it. I really enjoy it. I'm just saying, like,
sure,
that's sometimes it does become tedious.
Yeah, and I think people forget, like you said, it's if you're kind of OCD, like I know I am, you kind of you want to post a certain way, right? You want a certain photo, you want to have a good caption, like you said. You don't want to, some people probably can just wake up and be like, boom, screenshot and post it. But for me, it's like a little bit deeper than that. Like C10 Vatos, for instance, love them, Joe and the team over there, and they're about 132,000 followers, and obviously, that you look at their content. I remember when he was on C10 Talk a long time ago, and Joe was talking about how, you get all these DMs from people going, hey, post my stuff, and you're like, man, that's not really a type of photo. Like, we have a quality that we have to our page, right? And that's one thing I've always noticed with what you do. So it's pretty cool. Now, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Tom down south, Tom Bennett. I don't know if you ever met him. He's got a Lincoln, about a 65. He's got a Cadillac, a convertible, but he's also into the F100s, and he has a unibody that he's built.
Oh, he's doing the unibody with the GSI chassis.
Yes, yeah. Look at you, man.
Yeah. So I don't know him, but I definitely know the truck. I've been following it on Instagram. I don't know him. I just I follow his Instagram.
Yep.
I've been keeping tabs on it, basically waiting for it to get closer.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. So we'll have to.
I think he's up in like Palm Beach, right?
Yeah, right around that area, and anybody can follow him, LINC65. Obviously, that was one of his builds, the Lincoln. But, yeah, man, I mean, that's the cool thing, how just that you can tap on a hashtag and you can find, everything that you love in the world, can't you, man? Exactly.
And it's amazing how, like, Instagram really makes people so close. I mean, obviously there's, bad stuff, politics and whatever, but like in the Ford truck world, dude, I have like best friends that live in Washington State that I never would have met in my entire life without Instagram, you know? And like I talk to some people every single day and I've never met them in person.
That's sick.
And
Yep.
it's, you know, and then we go to LST and we meet up at LST and it's like, oh shit, I've known you forever. You know what I mean? And then we just have a great time and we chop it up and it's pretty cool. And I feel like we're lucky in the truck world because we have so many shows. We get to kind of really see people in real life. And I think these days there's so many people that are so secluded that that's something cool that we have. We have that family and kind of like that community behind us. Cause like I had the craziest week last week, you know, and without the truck community, dude, I would have been stranded and like really, it wouldn't have been that great. But you got a family and a community behind you. It really feels good and it's awesome. And it's not just the Ford world. I mean, I see it with anything, with the mini trucking world. I mean, I think just trucking in general, like we know what's up.
Yeah, where it's a community. We're willing to help each other out. And I do want to talk about some of your recent trips. I would remind everyone, Lone Star Throwdown, as we were talking about LST, LoneStarThrowdown.com. You can pre-register 2022. That's the 11th annual event. Of course, Conroe, and that's the last weekend in February.
And don't forget, they're not letting scalpers this year.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, so they're not. Yep.
So hopefully you're not going to see those, you know, $60 tickets on idiots trying to sell them for $500.
Yeah, because Mike Murray supposedly bought like 100 of them, and he's got Super Bowl tickets and he's got LST tickets for sale. I'm like, Mike, I mean, come on, man, come on, Mike. But
dude, I got 2 tickets because hopefully I'll have 2 trucks that I can take out there, and if not, I'll give one to a homie. You know what I mean?
There you go, man. Pay it forward. Yeah, because the pre-registration, $60. I mean, you get 2 bands, and then I think they used to do. I know one year I was one of the first like 50 or 100, and then you got the goodie bag. So yeah, you just can't go wrong, man.
Yeah. Plus, dude, that shit does sell out. Like, come around Christmas time, you can't even get a ticket.
Yep. Yeah.
Like right now, anybody can go buy one, but like people sleep on them, you know, and they're like, "Oh, LST's in February," but don't sleep on LST, bro. You need to buy a ticket.
That's what I'm saying, man. I'm telling you. But you hinted at this, you know, these hiccups, as I'll call them, that you kind of had a little bit. We always see the good stuff with a lot of social media pages, like, "Oh, I'm traveling." My friend Frank, my boy, over at Custom Life on YouTube, like, he does a good job of kind of documenting, like, well, shit, we broke down, we got a flat, whatever. Talk to us a little bit about the trials and tribulations you recently had in the awesome rig you got.
So I'll just preface it with a little bit of a background on the channel. Just everything will make a little bit more sense that way. So last May 2020, I picked up Goldust, which is my 1970 F250 crew cab, and it's sitting on a 96 Ram 2500 chassis with the 12-valve Cummins and a 47 RE. So me and my best friend flew to Idaho and bought the truck, like literally got off the airplane. The guy met us at the airport with the truck, bought it, and drove 3,000 miles back to Florida. So that's what kicked off my YouTube channel. I recorded, it was a week-long trip. I recorded every day, and I would, you know, we'd drive and then we'd stop into some shops. And at the time I was still doing photography work with street trucks and F100 Bullets guides. So I stopped in, did some photo shoots, met some friends, and just had, you know, a nice trip home. No rush, very fun. So I started just with that, recording the trip. And then when I got home, you know, started upgrading the truck. So I would, you know, make videos of whatever I did. And then I go to, you know, a lot of F100 specific shows, and a lot of my friends have cool F100 trucks. So I would do show coverage, and then I would do features on my friends' trucks. And then I also go to a lot of the factories, and I would do videos of the factories, kind of showing it off. Like I've done, like, you know, TMI or a bunch, you know, I've done a bunch of different factories, and I just find it fun to kind of see behind the scenes. And then a lot of vlogs. So the vlogs are me traveling. So like from May 2020 to May 2021, I put 50,000 miles on that truck.
Damn, the crew cab, the lifted rig, man.
Yes, sir. So it was a very reliable truck, and that was because I left it exactly how I bought it. Didn't really mess with it, and it was stock for a very long time. But when I bought it, the guy that built it, his name is Jimmy at Old Iron Diesel. And I had him, before I bought it, I reached out to him. He wasn't selling it. His customer sold it. But I reached out to him and I was like, hey, the customer lives near you. Can he bring the truck to you so you can just tell me what's up with it? So he had the truck and looked it over. And he told me that, it's got a couple of leaks that aren't bad, but over time they're going to get worse and you're going to want to give them attention. So after 50,000 miles, I was like, all right, I'm probably like, the leaks started getting a little bit worse. And they weren't bad enough to where I couldn't drive it, but like it was annoying that my driver was covered in oil. And everybody's like, oh, it's a Cummins, that's normal. And it is normal, but it's annoying.
Right.
So I finally made the truck nicer. I lifted it, put new wheels and tires, and I was like, I got some time and I had a little bit of extra money saved up. So I got referred to a good shop here in Miami and had them replace the seals just because I wanted to make sure the truck didn't leak.
Sure.
Didn't need to, but it was more preventative maintenance. Unfortunately, not by the fault of the shop, something got into the system, a little piece of debris, and it went to the check valves for the high pressure oil system. So the check valve stayed closed. My truck was running for like 10 minutes with no oil pressure. I don't know why they didn't check oil pressure, but whatever. And it basically smoked the bearings because that's what happens. And I knew that it was a problem, but the truck was holding oil pressure. So we fixed it. We got oil pressure and everything. It was a lot lower than usual, but it was still good. And everybody says, if you got oil pressure in the Cummins, you're good. All the seals were good. There was no leaks. There was no nothing. So the mechanic gave me the truck back on Tuesday. I was supposed to be on Hot Rod Power Tour. That was what I was leaving for. Power Tour started on Monday. Friday, when I went to pick it up, is when we had the issue. So then we didn't fix it till Monday, and he didn't give it back to me till Tuesday. So Wednesday morning, I leave on Power Tour so I could at least get there for Thursday and Friday and have a couple days of Power Tour. And I'm about 420 miles into the trip, and I pull over on the sign that says, goodbye, thank you for visiting Florida, right on the side of the 95. And my truck's a four-wheel drive, but it's got Dodge axles, and it was really wet grass, so I got stuck. And I tried putting it to four-wheel drive, but I just lifted the truck, and they had the vacuum booster off. So the vacuum line that controls the locking hubs on a Dodge axle had a leak.
Damn.
So I basically had a two-wheel drive truck stuck hardcore in mud because I knew it was four-wheel drive, so I wasn't carrying.
Yeah.
So I was stuck, and then AAA came, got me out, and then I was just on the side of the road, and I'm looking, I see there's oil leaking, like a lot of oil. So I shut the motor off, and I had AAA there. So I'm like, hey, I have my tows with them. So I'm like, take me to like a safer location on the side of the highway. So he tows me closer to Atlanta, and then I go and I start looking, and I'm like, oh, damn, this is like a real issue. Then I get another tow truck to tow me all the way to a buddy's shop in Atlanta. And we tear into it, start figuring out what's wrong, and it was the crank seal. Apparently, by smoking the bearings and then driving it, I also smoked the crank. So now the crank has a little bit of play, and that little bit of play keeps popping the crank seal, which makes me leak a lot of oil.
Yeah, it's like a domino effect. Yeah, if you follow Soloman Lunger, as he had mentioned, just how it sounds, you'll see you had tagged a photo in Atlanta. It's the one positive thing, and I saw some of the comments on here, like Vulcan Specialty says, dude, so bummed, but memories for years, I'm sure. The one challenge is when you have these breakdowns and you have these hiccups, we've all been through them, you do see, like what you said a few minutes ago, the scene kind of comes together, right? The homies come out, lend a hand, everybody kind of contributes. That's what it seemed like. There was the camaraderie that came together.
Absolutely. And it's never a good thing, but it does make for good content. So I was going to be daily vlogging anyways on the trip. So I actually put out a video every single day of what's happened. So like the day that it broke, you see me in the morning getting an alignment and then leaving and then, driving, everything's good, and then getting stuck and, filming all that. So that's, if you go to my YouTube, you'll see that. Then the next day when we start, diagnosing and fixing the issue, that, and then the day after that, diagnosing and fixing the issue again. And, you know, at the end of the day, we ended up not being able to fix it. We changed the seal twice, did everything we could, but the shop that I went to wasn't a diesel shop, and it's a crank and main bearings that need to get redone. So it's real work. Basically need to rebuild the motor at this point or get a new motor. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. But I flew back home and left the truck with the homies. But I mean, the community really did come together. Like when I broke down, I had people reach out to me from everywhere. Like, hey man, anything I could do, you let me know. And then when I was in Atlanta, you know, trying to find a bunch of parts same day to fix it is not easy. So I was calling around different buddies. Were like, hey, I got this. You need this. I got that. You need that.
Yep.
I even had I needed to buy a special part that only Cummins sells at the Cummins dealer, and there happened to be a Cummins dealer like 60 miles away from where I was in Atlanta, and they were closing at 4:00. And if we left the shop, we were not going to get to it till 4:10. So I post and I'm like, anybody in this area? Someone's like, I'm in that area. So I had a dude go to the Cummins dealer and literally wait inside when they locked the doors and wait for me. And I showed up minutes late, and then he opened the doors for me. Because Cummins told me, they're like, we're not going to wait for you. Yeah. So he was like, either I'll buy the part for you if you can't make it here, or I'll just hold the door for you. And I ended up making there I think I got there at 4:09, and he he opened the door, and it was locked. Like if you look at my video, it's actually locked, and then he opened it. So like stuff like that. Like that dude went out of his way, stopped. He has a shop, and he closed his shop and wasted a half hour of time just so that way I could go get the correct part. And that's the type of stuff that is really cool about our scene. And then I wanted to get the truck towed from Atlanta to right north of Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm taking one of my buddies is going to do some sheet metal work while the truck is down, because I need to anyways get some rust repair and sheet metal work done. And I made a post, and I must have had 50 people be like, hey man, I got a trailer you could take. I got a trailer. So it is awesome.
Yeah, the advice I give people out there, if you are into the content business and you are looking to grow, when you have these hiccups and challenges and you break down and stuff like that, sometimes I know when I had recent blowouts with the homie Vic, there were things that you got the frustration going. You're on the side of the road. Obviously be safe first and stuff. But if you have the opportunity to kind of vlog some of it and record some of it, to your point, not everybody has the lifestyle that we have, right? Where we go to these shows and we drive, you talking about a lot more miles than I drove in a year to shows. That is what people, they tune into YouTube because they want a little bit of insight into that lifestyle. And obviously that's what you get when you're following your channel, right, Solomon?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is what it is. At the end of the day, yeah, it was embarrassing. Like when I first got stuck in the mud, I didn't record right away. And then after 2 minutes, it hit me. I'm like, oh, I'm stuck. I should probably let everybody know, because it's kind of funny that I've got a big 4-wheel drive truck on mud tires, and I'm usually the guy that pulls everybody out of the mud, and I'm stuck in I'm 5 feet off the side of the highway. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm out mudding and, somewhere hardcore and deep mud and all this. I'm literally on the shoulder of the 95, just stuck in some wet grass.
Yeah.
But just, so I at first it was embarrassing, shit, this truck is stuck in wet grass. I can't get out of this. And then I'm like, no, let me show it, because it's funny. And it might not be funny to me now, but it's going to be funny after I get out,
Sure.
And I always think like that. And after I found out that the motor was smoked, I was happy that that's all it was, because I'm on it was going to be a 5,000 mile road trip, and anything could happen. A tractor trailer could hit you. You could go off the side of the road. Your pitman arm could fall off, and you lose steering. You lose brakes. Anything in the entire world could happen. Only thing that happened is I lost oil, and my motor is bad. That's pretty good in the in the
grand scheme of things. Yeah.
I'm healthy. I'm okay. The truck is fine. So people are like, I can't believe you're smiling after all that happened. I'm like, I'm smiling because it could have been so much worse. Okay, it sucks, and I've got a pretty packed schedule, and the truck was supposed to be going to a bunch of shows, and it might be missing a bunch of shows, and it is what it is. But I'm fine. I'm healthy. The truck's fine. It's materialistic. And I think that's that's definitely one of the things that helps me be able to do the content when it's not that great. I mean, this is definitely the worst thing that's ever happened as far as my content.
Sure.
But it might be a blessing in disguise, honestly, because what if I was supposed to get into a big accident and it was God's way of being like, no, don't go.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is the thing that'll, help my channel keep growing. I mean, it's been growing pretty good, but I don't know. People love drama because, boy, like the views on these last few videos have been way better than they usually are. It's because it's drama filled.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, yeah, F that guy, man. He's going to do what he wants. I want him to break down. You're like, okay, well, whatever.
Exactly. Dude, the haters, they're probably so happy. They're like, oh, yeah. So,
and little do they know you're going to come back bigger and badder, dude, like the new Goliath, man.
It's it. If only I had money, dude. If I had money, I'd be buying a freaking badass motor right now.
Well, the one thing I'll tell you, Solomon, is my homie Tony Boss Bolin, he's helped me a lot. His dad is a great engine builder. They work on big rigs. They have a truck stop not far from the house here. And when we finished my 64 Lincoln, his dad rebuilt the motor. We had the trans rebuilt. And I'm just starting to get, I probably got less than 100 miles on the car, and I'm trying to drive it around a little bit. Well, I decided one day, I was like, you know what, I'm going to take it to Clearwater to work on it some with my buddy Blair. And I broke down. And we call it literally the Bermuda Triangle because we see Lincolns broke down all in this one little patch of area in Tampa, dude. I mean, new cars. I mean, they're just Lincolns. And we're like, dude, something's weird. But what it was is I broke down by myself. It started, the top was up. Starts raining a little bit. It's getting dark. Probably should have never left when I did. But it ended up being what I found out was we didn't fully have the torque converter seated onto the pump. Like, I thought that it was there in the car. Actually, I was able to drive the car, almost 100 miles, and then it didn't like it. But what I learned from that is, when I was broke down there, I was like, I could be all pissed off, right? It cost me some money because I had to get another torque converter, and then the guy had to go back through the transmission a little bit. But, I took it with a grain of salt, and I sat back and was like, look, if this is the worst, I mean, I could have got hit, something could have happened, to your point. So I just look at it, and what happened is we came back, I learned from it, which was super important, but the car is better than it ever has. And now the transmission place is, he's closed, his dad retired, and that had nothing to do with, they did a fantastic job with my stuff. But I kind of look at it, well, what if there was another issue with the trans, and now the guy went back through it a second time, and I still didn't even pay what the average price was to rebuild one. So I kind of was like, look, I came out ahead still,
Yeah.
So, but you know how that goes. I want to be clear. So anybody that's looking for your channel, if I go on YouTube and I type in Soloman Lunger, the first one I see it's Ford Era, right? That's the channel that we're talking about.
Yeah, it's called, yeah. So the channel is Ford Era, but I'm sure if you search my name, it'll pop as well.
Boom. I want to hit on some other stuff real quick and keep it fresh. We got a lot of love for Ronnie, C10 Talk, Truck Talk Media, OBS Talk, you name it, kind of taking over the world from an automotive podcast standpoint. Share with the listeners a little bit. If they haven't listened to F100 Talk, they need to, right? Because, Soloman Lunger, you're the host, but talk to us a little bit about what's going on over there and some of the things and how you got to where you guys are at.
Yeah, so like you said, Ronnie is the man, and he had C10 Talk, and then he started OBS Talk, and I love Ronnie. I think it was 2019. Yeah, I got best podcast of 2019 from him. People voted or whatever, and we were just good buddies. And then he asked me if I would want to be a part of what he's got going on and switch over. I was doing F100 Nation podcast with Devin Entz, one of my boys, and he's like, hey, would you guys want to turn that into F100 Talk, and I'll bring you under our umbrella. So we did, because I know Ronnie. I know that, when he puts his mind to something, he makes it happen. And he was going to be kind of like making sure that we do it, because if it was up to us, we kind of slacked a little bit. So he kind of made us like, hey, you guys, we got to put out a pod, So we do that. And the podcast, as you could guess, it's about F100s and sometimes, bigger F250s or whatever. But it's a Ford specific podcast. And I've got on all types of people. I've had on, regular guys building in their garage, to, shop owners, to picked TV guys. I mean, I've had on Aaron Kaufman from ArcLight. I've got, Casey from Casey's Paint Shop. We've had on some tech. We've had on a lot of live at shows, and it's just fun. We put it out every second Monday, so 2 a month. Some months might get 3, but it's awesome. I mean, you guys obviously listen to a podcast if you're listening to this, so go check out F100 Talk wherever you're listening to your podcast.
Yeah, it's fun, and I would encourage anyone, just like I'm sure Solomon would. There's enough out there for everyone, and there's a lot of guys that have come. Mini Trucker Cold, Billy Bob Podcast, Future Mini Trucker Podcast, the Scene Podcast, like these different podcasts over in kind of our world, right, with the mini truck scene. And the cool thing is, man, it opens so many doors. You get to meet people, and if you're truly passionate, like you are, Solomon, you'll end up just finding the joy of talking to people, getting together. For me, it's kind of therapeutic because I can come home from work, maybe it's a long day like today, and I get a chance to talk to someone that may not be into the same exact genre, but at the end of the day, we're all truck guys, man. You know what I'm saying? We all want to get behind the wheel, and we want to go to shows, and we want to have a good damn time. Isn't that right?
Absolutely is. And that's what it's about, dude. It's about enjoying ourselves. Like, I've always said, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time,
Nice. I like that.
Basically send it. I don't know. I kind of do that. I mean, everybody was like, you shouldn't do Power Tour. Like, you just got your truck back. And I was like, send it. What's the worst that could happen? So I found out. Yep.
It's all good. And you're staying positive about it. You hinted earlier, I've been reading Street Trucks since August 99 when it came out. You hinted that, you've shot a lot of features. We just shared one of the homies, the International. We shared his the other day on Street Trucks. And yeah, and one of the things, with Street Trucks, you don't, like online, they put a lot of the content, right? So, to your point, John Pines. And the cool thing that I always loved was seeing your name because you always shot some cool stuff. Talk to us a little bit about what your role is, from a photography standpoint, and then obviously a little bit more with the F100 Builder's Guide.
So I've been doing all types of different photography, but then when me and Mike got together, I got back into it a little bit on F100 Builder's Guide, and then after doing that for a while, Chris Hamilton was like, hey man, you're killing it with them. Can you help us out and do some other, not just Ford stuff? So I started doing a lot with them, and I don't know exactly how many covers, but I think I shot most of them for 2018, 19, and 20. And then I remember at one point I had Street Trucks, F100 Builder's Guide, C10 Builder's Guide, and OBS Builder's Guide all on stands at the same time, which was the coolest thing ever for me. Because just like you said, you've been reading it since 1999, and I'm sitting in my office. I've got right behind me every single issue from the first one, and I subscribed way back then, or all the way back then. My dad subscribed because I was only 6, but he subscribed and he gave them to me, and I used to read them. So Street Trucks has always been to me my favorite magazine. So when I got the opportunity, it was crazy awesome. And then when COVID hit, everything slowed down. There weren't so many shows, so I slowed down as far as traveling as much and freelancing. And the magazine had a lot of content. I had a lot of photo shoots. They had, that I've already done, and they had me and all the other freelancers. So I really didn't have to do a lot of shooting. So I was just kind of focusing on growing Ford Era, doing my YouTube channel, doing what I was doing. And then, here and there, I'd, do whatever I could. Then, just recently, Chris was like, hey man, we want you to come back on and, help us with a bunch of stuff again. And, do you have the time? And I was like, yeah, I don't really, but I love Street Trucks. It's been literally one of my favorite magazines forever. I mean, out of the magazines that I love, it's the only one left. There's a few new ones that are badass, and I definitely subscribe to those. But so I told him I'm in, and then we're going to be having a fun trip this weekend. I'm excited about that. This will be kind of like the kickoff to me getting back into the whole magazine stuff, because I've kind of been out of it for the whole, COVID.
Yeah, and like I said, I always enjoyed seeing these different trucks that you kind of pick out at shows like Lone Star Throwdown, like a Scraping the Coast, these shows that I love going to. And what I've always noticed is you got a good eye, because even though like right now with Gold Dust might be a lifted truck with this big diesel motor, you kind of have a good eye, like JP's International, right? You seek out those kind of things. When you go to a show, do you have a rhyme or reason until like what you're going to pick, or do you just kind of walk around and go, yo, hey, homie, I want to shoot this stuff this weekend?
So obviously there's like the big ones that are being built, right? So you kind of keep tabs on those. So like, especially in the Ford world, I know about like every single truck because they message me, or someone tags me in a picture or something like that. So like with the Ford stuff, like I'm locked in. And then with a lot of the other stuff, like I'll be walking through a show, and I personally love when a truck stops me in my tracks. And I feel like if it stops me in my tracks, it's going to stop somebody else in their tracks. And that's kind of how I do it. So like if I see something that I think is super badass at a show, I'll just ask them like, hey, have you guys been featured? If not, would you be interested in something like that? And then if we can make it happen while I'm there, we do it. If not, we exchange contact info. And obviously I'll, send photos first to Chris or whoever the editor is at the time, making sure that, they want the vehicle. But it's always just kind of been, I see what I think is cool. And then, if the editor finds it cool as well, we make it happen.
Yeah, you have, like I said, a good eye, and I love that you pick out this awesome stuff. Talk to us a little bit about. Yeah, no problem. Talk to us a little bit about. Obviously, you've got your truck, and you kind of mentioned, you got some things there that you got to work through. But this weekend, you mentioned you're kind of this is your jumping back on, the street trucks, ship, so to speak, and I love seeing that. Right, you and I had this unique opportunity. We're going back to Cali. C10 Intervention. I'm super excited. I'm a truck guy at heart, so I can go there and appreciate everything that's there, laid out, lifted, you name it. But how excited are you this weekend, for C10 Intervention?
Dude, I'm super excited. So I actually lived 2 years ago. I lived in Sac, and I was working for Provost Motorsports, and they come strong for C10 Intervention. So I was there 2 years ago for C10 Intervention, and that was at a totally different location. And I'm excited because now they brought it over to Woodland, which is where Provost is based out of. So I'm going to be able to see the homies I haven't seen in a while, visit the place and check it out. And dude, I love the culture in NorCal. Like, it's a whole different vibe. So I'm just excited to go there, see some fun trucks, have fun, hang out with you, hang out with Chris, and just have a good time.
Yeah, the few times I met you, man, I've always had a good time around you. Like I said, you're a positive dude. You're always smiling. You got to check out Soloman Lunger on social media, including Instagram, of course, Ford Era, as well as on YouTube. But the thing that I always think is, like, you're around positive people. You're around like-minded people. Like, right there, you're already kind of ahead, right, in my mindset. So I'm super excited this weekend to really lay it down. I would encourage folks, if you go on Facebook or YouTube, you can follow and or subscribe to Street Trucks. We'll be doing live streaming. I've never been to the Sacramento area. Now, I've been to California a few times. I haven't really ever been to that area. What do you expect? How much fun do you think for us? How much fun do you expect for us to have, homie?
So that very much depends on. I don't really know for sure like how heavy our workload is, but it is a lot of fun out there. There's so much stuff to do. It's a really like, what's the right word? Sacramento is low key a badass city. You know what I mean? So I like that it's not like super packed, and it's not like everybody knows how cool it is. So you can still like get around the city. There's not crazy traffic, and I think we're gonna have nothing but fun, because if this is like it was in the past, every night at the hotel is going to be a party in the parking lot until the sun comes back up. And we're just going to have a great time. Like, these types of weekends are the ones that we're going to talk about in 25 years. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, you remember that time that we went to Intervention and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and this guy, we had to get him out of jail and bail and this and that? that's the fun stuff. Like, go on vacation, leave on probation.
Right. See, I like this. And, Nicole said, hey, you got to look out for my husband, Chris, whatever. We're talking about Chris going to jail, right? No, I'm just kidding.
I've got a super clean record, so it's definitely not me.
Right. I mean, if Chris goes, since he's never got pinched on anything in terms of the law,
He'll be all right.
I think, he'll be able to get out as like a first-time offender. You know what I'm saying? Man. And plus, he's got the corporate card, so we'll have to get his wallet if he gets locked up. So C10 intervention altogether, Instagram. This is a sold-out event. They're billing it on Instagram as 800-plus trucks, which I love. And outside of C10 intervention, anything else planned? Are we going to see a turkey rod run? Like, kind of what's maybe the mindset? I know obviously a lot in the air with the truck, but anything else mindset-wise you want to be at this year, homie?
Yeah, so I've got in 3 weeks, September 23 to 26 is F100 Super Nationals in Sevierville, Tennessee. Then the next weekend right after that is Holly Ford Fest, September 29 through October 2nd in Bowling Green. Then I have a couple of weeks to chill. Then there's SEMA, November 2nd to 5th. The weekend after SEMA is Dino's Get Down in Phoenix. That's the 12th and 13th of November.
Yes.
The weekend after that is Good Guys Southwest Nationals, also in Phoenix. The weekend after that is a party at Glamis in the Sands. I'll be at that. I missed, but in October I'll be at Slamfest, hopefully. Obviously the homies. And we can't miss that one. I think that pretty much is all the shows I'll be going to for the rest of 2021. Might be missing a couple local ones, but those are the bigger ones.
Yeah, I love hearing it. Soloman Lunger, dude, it's always great to sync up. I can't wait this weekend to be doing some video. We'll be able to live stream a lot of that. Chris will be there with us representing street trucks. Before we wrap it up, dude, give a huge shout out because I know you got two little ones. I kept thinking you had the one, but I see you holding the baby. You're able to balance all of this fun stuff, the guy stuff, the ladies stuff. Obviously there's ladies involved in the scene too, but you're able to balance all this, and you got two little ones at home. So why don't you give a shout out to the significant other and the little ones?
Oh, yeah. So my wife, Lisa, is definitely, she's a trooper. I mean, she definitely has to put up with all of this. And, if it wasn't for her letting me be able to go all the time and, just being cool about it and not making it annoying, because I've got plenty of friends who, they're on a short leash. So I think she gets all the shout outs, and she probably is going to say that, I don't deserve her, and I agree. So.
Yeah, real talk, man. Well, listen, we love what you do, positivity that you bring to the scene. You've got a keen eye, as I mentioned, for lots of cool stuff, and we've seen that in many pages of the builders' guides, including F100s, and then, of course, in street trucks, so much cool stuff like JP's International. Loved seeing that. Glad Street Trucks shared that one and their social media. Again, highly encourage, if you can, Facebook and YouTube. Follow Street Trucks, follow them on Instagram, Twitter, all that crazy stuff. And, man, anything else that you want to share, Mr. Soloman Lunger?
I just want to give you a shout out for you keeping on doing this and making somewhere fun for us to listen and kind of know what's happening. Because I've been listening to you for a long time, and I appreciate everything that you do.
Hey,
and Mike.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We always give Mike a hard time. He's out gallivanting around. But seriously, dude, much love. And, every time we slap hands, it's always real talk. So this weekend, we're going to be holding it down, brother. And listen, man, I'm a little older than you, so I got to make sure I can kind of, keep up with the young bucks. I've been doing this a long time. So, I'm going to try to stay with you. You know what I mean?
Well, I think you'll be able to. I don't hold my liquor at all. I don't try to drink. So I think you got me.
Real talk. Well, listen, you're the future of the scene. A lot of older guys, I think, sometimes have a hard time saying, hey, we're getting older. But at the same time, you're a great up-and-comer. You've already reached amazing plateaus that some may never even make it to. So keep doing what you do. Keep sharing the positivity. Love what you and Ronnie and all of your crews are doing over with F100 Talk. Stay on the rise, and let's keep this thing going that we all love, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. Keep on trucking.
We got the pedal stomped. All right, Solomon, we out here, brother. Be good.